Israel continues to carry out airstrikes in southern Lebanon despite the ceasefire. From a military standpoint, what message is Israel sending with these repeated breaches, sir?
Good afternoon, Mrs. Rena, for you, for QNews, for Cairo News, for your audiences and listeners, for your guests. And thanks for your for my attending with you today.
Thank you so much.
What I would like to say that there is a lot of messages, and Israel don't need to send messages anyway, because from the early beginning, she used to say that whenever I find any threat according to her national, as you know, security, she will strikes and bombing infrastructures, buildings, human beings, anything can make any threat to her. That's all. First of all, from
Mr. Michel, how do these ongoing Israeli violations affect the Lebanese government's position as it faces growing pressure to disarm Hezbollah by the end of this year, sir?
These ongoing violations committed by Israel augment the pressure imposed on the government of Lebanon. Also, the situation is dire on the street in Lebanon. But after today, we cannot look at the matters before, like we did before, when the parliament spokesman Nabih al-Berri signed the resolution on behalf of Miqati. Israel said they will strike upon all what they called suspicious movement on the borders. This agreement gave Israel this ability. Whenever Israel violates the sovereignty of Lebanon, when it leads to pressure being imposed on the government politically, so I don't think this government will adhere to these pressures because it receives a large and wide international support. So Iran is the only key player opposing this government on an international stage, and they cannot continue preventing the government to do its role. So within the legal entities inside Lebanon, like the Lebanese army, they might be forced to stand face to face against those who encourage mutiny. So in this parliament chaired by Berri and the government run by affiliates of Hezbollah, the parliament, they want to stop legally the Hezbollah affiliates and members from holding arms. They want to impose the rule of law. We don't want the government is not giving in to other dictations from Israel and America like they are showing. That's not true.
Mr. Taqi, is Israel deliberately testing the limits of the ceasefire in anticipation of a broader confrontation with Hezbollah? Or is this about internal politics within Israel, sir? And of course, it's very obvious, sir, that Parliament Speaker Nabih Berri has warned against foreign-imposed solutions and stressed the need for dialogue over confrontation, and is very worried about the Lebanese army. How do you read this, and what's your narrative, sir?
Yes, it used both ways. First of all, it want to make any kind of contact with Hezbollah. Until now, after more than 9 months, there is not any response from Hezbollah to all the aggressions from the Israeli enemy forces. And second, maybe it will be an internal policy for her that to show all of us that it's still here and will continue, as we said, her sovereignty on all these area, with or without any reason, in order to show the way that they are, it might make right, and it uses here, as we know, the law of jungle.
Mr. Taqiyuddin, how do you read this situation? Do you see that the Hezbollah should be disarmed now? And do you see that Israel should continue breaching the ceasefire? And do you see that the Lebanese parliament speaker, Nabih Berri, is right in what he's saying? What is your perspective, and how do you see what's going to happen and what's supposed to be happening on the ground? And of course, the stance of Lebanese President Joseph Aoun, sir. How do you read all this situation entirely of course, in light of the Israeli continuous breaching of ceasefire and never stops and doesn't want to leave the 5 strategic points?
I guess the Speaker of Parliament, Lebanese Parliament, President Nabih Berri, was very clear when he said and declared that they need, he means American and Israel, they need everything. Until now, they didn't give us anything.
As usual, sir, this is always what happens with Israel.
Yeah, what I would like to say is that he tried to explain for all the international committee and for the internal committee too, for Lebanese components, that nobody can oppose us to do what we don't want to do, and we are ready. We are ready to sit and make like a Lebanese dialogue, national Lebanese dialogue, in order to put the disarmament under consideration after the withdrawal of Israel troops from all Lebanese land, according to the resolution 1701.
Mr. Michel, okay, I'm very sorry. Continue, Dr. Taqi.
And he was also very caring about Lebanese armed forces when he said, it's not a fireball. We cannot accept to throw on our army a fireball. Even we cannot throw them with flowers. We must know carefully what we do. There will not be any clash with our Lebanese armed forces, and we need to sit down and discuss that issue all together.